nobody in
Do, 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 do. Green Acre. I better shut up. We're getting copyright already.
I thought it was okay if you could sing it yourself.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. I've got what was it? Jeopardy. I got caught for doing a Jeopardy thing and
That's
got
awful.
caught for copyright. I was like, really?
Oh, man, we're doing a memoriam to Alex Trebek.
I'm trying to figure out how come there ain't nobody in chat.
It's hard to say. I would rather go at 8:00 because everybody's outside doing stuff at 7:00.
Well, I'm not going to deny you that because 90% of the people who watch us is got their own gardens.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
If Vineyard Chicks wasn't going on at 9, I would probably start at 9:00 nowadays, just during the summer months.
Yeah.
That's like that one lady. It never fails. She always comes up right as you're doing the closing stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but yeah.
Idaho Garden Girl.
It's the time zones, man. It messes everybody up.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, if your whatever device you're on has the correct time, it'll change it for you to, like, if I'm on at 7, somebody in Alabama or not Alabama would be
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how's everybody doing tonight?
It's hard. If my phone rings, I'll have to take this. So it's
you going fishing this year, Jeff?
I'm gonna do my best to.
I was thinking about doing it sometime this week. I don't know where though. I don't want to go in the river because I'd have to, have to wear gloves when I catch a fish.
And probably a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
Well, now I love to fish, but I'm strictly catch and release.
Like there's a pond not too far, but the only thing is you have to park out and you got to walk like a couple miles to get to it. And
God, it's not like you need an ATV.
Well, you can't have those out there either. It's real nice area. I had caught like a 11-pound bass, and I should have took it home and ate it, but I just it was so nice looking and everything. I put it back in the lake.
That's what you call a breeding fish. Let them go. I mean, look, it's like this. I love sitting there just casting. And a lot of times I don't even put no bait on there, but I'll cast it out. What I like is the peace, relaxation, nobody calling or hounding you or nothing like that.
Yeah. See that there's a road that does go back there that you can walk on, but you're not allowed to drive back there. But usually a lot of people get there and they'll set up right next to the road because it's just easy to get to.
Yeah.
Myself, I like to go up in the woods and go into a nice cozy spot where nobody's going to bother me. But you have to worry about the other little critters and stuff, the ticks and the mosquitoes and all that
Well,
fun
now,
stuff.
that's all a part of nature right there. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's been like that ever since God I can remember. But I think what red flags me more than anything else is other people.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You're trying to be nice and chill out there, and you hear them screaming and hollering.
yeah.
And then they'll play their music real loud, and it's like, play the music when you're driving back to town. I don't want to hear it. I just want to hear the nothingness.
You know, I'm looking online. No way I can buy it. I'm looking at bass boats. I'm talking like a John boat, a flat bottom John boat. You know.
Yeah. I've been looking for a canoe, fishing canoe for a good while. They're so expensive. Now I can go over to Roll King and get one for like $250. It's not a fishing canoe. It's just a canoe, or not a canoe, but a kayak.
I'm like this right here. I would spend more time in the water in a canoe than I would if I was just sitting on the bank. I can't,
Oh yeah.
you know. And a kayak, forget it. I ain't even gonna look at one.
Yeah, I haven't been. Last time I was in a kayak is one that you fit inside, and then you snap yourself in.
Yeah.
And it didn't have no fins or anything on it, so you had to balance yourself right there. And
oh no.
And then it flips over, and then you have to take your paddle real hard and flip yourself back over. If not,
Yep. Now, wait a minute. Who was it? Pat Evans says she enjoys night fishing. I love night fishing more than anything.
Yeah. Hey there, Bobby Hill.
I got a buddy of mine. He goes kayaking and fishing all the time. I said, man, I'm gonna get me a kayak one day. He said, I got an extra one. I said, how much you want for it? He said, come over here and check it out. I'll give it to you. So I was like, all right. Man, I get over there and see this thing. I couldn't even get in it. It wasn't even wide enough for me to even try to attempt to put my legs in it.
If you had another one, you can have new shoes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was about that size. I said, dang, you should have had two of them. I'd have bought them and ratchet strapped them together and just had a float.
Well, I remember when smart cars first come out, I showed Mama a smart car. She said, where's the other one at? You need one for each foot.
Oh, yeah. Man, them little tiny things. BMW's got one, a little tiny one. It's smaller than the Fiats. I don't know if y'all seen one of those on the road.
I've seen one on TV, but that's as far as I go.
Yeah, I seen a picture of one that it had 0.1 or 0.5 on it.
That's how fast it goes.
No, it was orange and had a Confederate flag on the top.
Oh,
really?
It was
General Lee
a
edition.
mini General Lee. That's why it said 0.1 or 0.5.
Okay. Huh.
Believe it or not, I had something happen to me today I've never had happen to me in this car. I'm going down the road and the thing just shuts off. I got to put it in neutral and crank it back up. I've never had that to happen to me.
That's weird.
I don't know.
So, and trust me.
Yeah, John boats are nice.
Yeah.
I want something that I can just pick up and put in the back of my truck and
Take
pick
off.
it up and put it in the water.
Yeah.
Now some of them kayaks, some real expensive ones, are being fishing ones that have that they have paddles or little foot things, and you go like this, and it paddles your boat.
I have been in one of those, but it wasn't a canoe. It was like a 2-person like paddler fisher.
Yeah.
Hello, Homestead. Well, see, my problem is if I'm in a kayak or something like that and something bites my hook when I go to set the hook, I'm going to flip out. The boat.
Me and you need boats. We're too big for kayaks.
You right. I agree with you. You
Well,
give me, I'll take a 10-foot flat bottom John boat.
Well, that guy that I interviewed that is real big in the kayaks and stuff, he was 6'4". He
Is
had
that the fisher guy you had on a while back?
Yeah, he had a big kayak though. It was, I think, 14 feet or something like that.
Oh yeah, I priced them. They're pretty expensive. They're expensive now.
Yeah, well, the ones over in Rule King, again, but they are ones that you set in and not set on top of. For fishing, you can't. Well, you can, but it's a lot easier if you're on top of the boat when you're fishing.
Yeah, you got more leverage.
Yeah.
Well, see, I got one problem. I can't swim.
Well, yeah, that'd be an issue there.
Me neither.
That's why I prefer a John boat over a kayak or a canoe.
Yeah. Canoes are okay. I mean, they're pretty heavy. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
Y'all know this guy?
Hey.
I thought it was Shrimp Man.
I heard some fishing talking. What kind of car you got, Jeff, that takes a dump once in a while?
That's the first time. It's a 2000 Mercury.
Well, that's okay. I mean, what kind of engine?
Yeah, what is it?
351.
No, I wished. It's the same as a 289 or 4.9. So 4.9.
4.9.
Yeah. See, now I had the same motor in the Crown Vic. Neither one of them. I mean, I've not had no problem out of none of them.
Huh.
I'm hoping this is a fluke.
Yeah, I had that problem. I changed the coil pack. How many miles on it?
You don't want to know.
Yeah, well, I'll change the coil pack because that's what's happening.
I've had a coil pack changed about a year ago.
All wires and plugs too?
Yep.
Remember back in the day when you used to have to put a clothespin on the fuel line?
Yeah. What? Something like vapor locking. That's called vapor locking.
Yep.
What would that do?
It stops. It'll stop vapor lock.
Either that or get a new gas cap and put it on the end, on the filler neck. Yeah, but those electrical problems, you can chase them things to kingdom come and still not find them.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
Yeah, electrical on a car sucks.
Yeah, and it could be just, just like you said, just a fluke. It just hiccup.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, you didn't have but 2 wires to for a car to run. That was hot and negative. Nowadays, you got about 500 million of them. You got to have hooked up in order for the car to run.
Yep. And a computer to tell you what's wrong with it.
Very carefully.
You get a funnel and you attach a hose to it, and then you run it through the bottom of it.
Yeah, believe it or not, the canoes or kayaks, they already have holes in them.
Mm-hmm.
They still float because they're all sealed, but they have the fishing ones. I'll put it because you can
Yeah.
you lift up the paddle mechanism or the
Propulsion.
no the fin thingy, the rudder.
The rudder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rudder.
And it pops right out, and you can see right down in the water. But you don't sink because it's self-contained.
Right. It's all roto molded and filled with floaty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got years ago, I worked for a company driving a dump truck. And I didn't know it when he hired me. But when you are on the clock, you are not allowed to get out of that truck. And I kind of got warned the first time. I said first time, I'm going to leave it there. So I took a drill to work with me one day. I did not have to worry about stopping the truck to use the bathroom no more. All I had to worry about is I hope the car behind me is not that close.
Okay, we're about close enough here to the 15-minute mark. We can start talking about the subject of the live tonight, as long as it goes. I'm not going to say whose live it was on or anything, but there was talks about groups, mags, and different things. And one came up with Lone Wolf, and he's reading off and said that they won't last 6 months. And I said I disagree with that. And I said and they said, well, what happened? You have to stay awake 24/7. And I'm like, you don't have to stay awake for 24/7 because you shouldn't be around people in the first place if you're trying to survive, shift type thing. Because it's not like you're going to be running around the city or anything, because you won't survive in a city. Anyways, there was more talking, like if you hurt yourself, which makes sense. If you do hurt yourself, you have to take care of it yourself. Whatever it may be. And I still disagreed with the 6 months, that if you're by yourself, you can only last 6 months. And again, this is from somebody reading from a book. Books are fine, but books are not experience. I don't know the person who wrote that book. Have they ever tried to go out in the woods and live by themselves? I don't know. Did they go and ask 10 people, could you survive in the woods? How long? And they said 6 months. I don't know, and most people don't know that. The fact is, people have been doing this from the beginning of time, surviving by themselves for years and years. In this country alone, when there were trappers and whatnot, they would go out for years and then take their furs back into market and sell them and go back out again for 2 or 3 years. They survived. Some of them did die. Some of them, got too close to the Indians and they didn't like them. Some got ate by bears.
Whoops.
And it doesn't make a difference if you're I could be in a group of 10 people and a bear come in and charge the whole camp and take out one or two people. Did it help that there was 10 people? No. The 2 people are still not there.
Jennifer Ocean says she wouldn't last 6 hours with these mosquitoes.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's all the different people. I mean, you can have one person that probably wouldn't make it across the street and another person that would be fine by themselves. And it's the mental part of it. Some people can't be alone.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's a main thing. Now, my perfect scenario would be a wolf pack. If you ever study wolves, they're one of the perfect creatures out there.
They are.
They mate one time. They have a mate one time. They stay with the mate. They don't go cheating or anything like that. If the mate dies, that's it. They don't go to somebody else or whatnot. If a wolf gets old, they stay back at the den. The younger ones come back and feed the older ones.
That's the way it's supposed to be, even in human life.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, I say it's supposed to be.
yeah. And it goes on and on and on like this. They even if they're not related to the next wolf, they're in a pack, and if one gets attacked, they all protect the one, and that's the way it should be. But I would.
They get a bad rap.
Yeah, and to me, the one thing that scares me in the woods more than anything is a wolf, because it's not one wolf.
No.
If you see one wolf, there's probably 5 or 6 of them that you don't see that are getting ready to do business. They're one of the smartest animals. How they'll follow a prey, even if it's bigger, a moose or something. A wolf pack will take down a moose easily, and that moose is one of the most dangerous animals.
Yeah.
Up in Alaska area and Canada. More people die from a moose than bears.
I don't know if there's any wolves on the East Coast. They're more like West Coast and Canada region, right?
Yeah, there's a few in Ohio, but very, very slim.
Now I know for a fact
further north.
We got wolves and coyotes here where I live at.
Oh, everybody's got coyotes.
Yeah,
we got
but
them too.
like I said, we got wolves and coyotes. I can go outside and let's say like from the west, I can hear the wolves, and northeast, I can hear the coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, we got them here.
Yeah. And that's I love books. I mean, I'll sit down and read a book and everything, but the difference between a book and actually having an experience and doing it is 2 totally different things.
Huge difference.
You can't compare the 2. You can have somebody that reads books all day long and knows everything, but has never done it. And you can have somebody that, didn't go to school that much, but they've done it over and over again. Who would you want to do it? Or, like making a fire or something. You would want somebody that's experience
Done
in doing it, not experienced in reading it.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, you get a lot of um, preppers, survivalists, and all this stuff that never has walked out into the woods and did it. And it's hard for me to take somebody like that serious. I can listen to them and everything. Oh, it sounds good and everything, but yeah, I don't agree. And well, I read this about this, and well, okay,
Well, quit reading it and let's do it.
yeah,
Now, I've been camping back in my earlier days. I love to go camping. But what would excite me more is a city boy saying, I want to go camping. Has never been out in the woods or nothing
yeah,
else. I mean, it wasn't that I took him out there to humiliate him or nothing like that. You know, it was to try and teach. But I don't care who you are; they're going to make you laugh before before it's over with.
oh yeah. And
You know,
and when you see them sitting there and enjoying it, and when they learn something about that,
Yeah.
yes.
that's the cool part.
And I'll tell you something else we take for granted is when you go out camping, it is so quiet out there. You know, no phones, no TVs, no cars going up and down the road, no trucks. It's quiet. The only thing you can hear is the frogs and the crickets. And you get somebody from a city out there, they go crazy as all get out the first couple of nights.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah,
can't sleep.
yeah. That would probably be me at first, because my ringing in ears, it would probably um, drive me nuts the first couple nights, or until I got used to the quiet.
Well, now where I'm at, I look. I know nobody has seen my town, but I kid you not, we got 4 stop signs. We got one Dollar General and one convenience store. That's it. Nothing else. I'm happy. I'm content with that. And I kind of like, let's say, like I live on a main road, but you get a big truck about every 2 days. That's it. The rest of the time, y'all have heard the birds outside my window and the crickets at nighttime. That's the
Yeah,
way it is.
not here.
Oh,
You
I
get
have lived in this.
sirens and all kinds of stuff, drones over your head, your house, and uh,
We got gunfire here once in a while, so
well,
Damn, are you 101 neighbors by chance?
every once in a
no,
while.
I ain't nowhere near 101. No. Nope. This is nothing like Detroit or its outskirts or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I remember places to where it got there were certain times everybody slept in the bathtub.
Oh,
Yeah, that was down in Watts. Uh,
Yeah, during the riots.
well, I wasn't down there then.
Well,
Oh,
there was
boy.
earlier riots, and then there was the Rodney King
Oh yeah,
riot,
well,
and
I
then there
wasn't
was
down there in '65 either. So this was, I think, 80, 79 or 80 when I was down there.
is that
And
when they pulled that truck driver out?
no,
that was a Rodney
that
King riot.
that was
Oh,
after
okay.
Rodney King. Yeah, that was
Okay.
80. Well, no, that was like a 90, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that truck driver was Reginald Denny.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. That,
Like like you said about reading the books, those are good to have, and having that real world experience. That's
Yeah.
definitely the key. But me personally, I think the biggest thing that would be for anybody. It don't matter how tough you are or how much you know. It's going to be the mental aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're not with loved ones, if you're not in a particular group or faction. I know it would affect me. I know it would. You know, as much as I like to be to myself and keep to myself, I still love interacting and talking to people at the same time.
Mhm.
You know, I can go fishing, I can pitch a tent, I can pretty much survive if it was just me, inevitably, I think. But I think the biggest thing for a lot of people would be that mental toughness or mental
Oh yeah,
preparedness.
yeah.
Well, you know,
You'd be like what's his name with the volleyball.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Castaway.
Yes, Wilson.
come back
Wilson.
here.
That would probably be me without the packages.
Yeah. Well, you got the sanity that way, right?
well, I don't care.
And carry it around. Loggy, get back here.
I don't care how good a person thinks he or she is when it comes to building fires. Let's say you go out there and do one with a bow drill, and people say, "Oh, that's easy. That ain't nothing to it." If you've never done it, I'll give you $5 to go out there and do it the first go round.
Well, the first person that says it's easy is full of crap, because
That's why I said I give you $5 to build one the first go
you get
round.
Les Stroud says it's hard, and he's done more on live or behind the camera.
Yeah.
Trying to make a fire where it's perfect conditions and couldn't make a fire in the desert. How do you not? Everything's dry. How do you not make a fire in the desert? And he was 4.5 hours trying to make a fire in the desert and couldn't do it.
Well, now I will admit, and I've done it. I can go out there and I can start a fire with a striker or a ferrocene rod quicker than I can, a bow drill.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
That's,
but
on my bug out bag, I have multiple ways to start a fire. I have the ferrocene rod. I've got magnesium fire starter. I've got magnifying glasses, multiple magnifying glasses.
yeah,
And I've got Bic lighters. These things.
that's backup.
Yep, because you want to, if things were bad, you don't want to use up your lighter, because
Exactly.
if you
That
fall,
would be your last.
in wintertime and you fall through the ice and you have to start a fire real fast, it's going to be hard enough with a lighter, let alone trying to use a bow drill or ferrocene rod or something.
Check out Mountaineer Mama. Now, I'm going to say this right here. You got a lighter. I don't care if it's big or a cheap piece of junk or something like that. If it's out of fluid, 90% of the people still wouldn't know how to start a fire with it.
You could even start a fire with it once it runs out of fluid. You can break
That's
it down, shavings
Mhm.
of the plastic of the lighter itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you use the spark,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The flint inside, what used to be flint, now it's a ferrocene. It's a little mini ferrocene rod that's inside.
Yep.
And the worst lighter to carry is a Zippo.
Yeah, that used to be flint. The red little things you stick in there.
And of course, it wouldn't do me good, but for so long, unless I got a solar charging thing for it, but I got a plasma lighter. I don't know if y'all are familiar with those. The ones that are like waterproof and they don't. Yeah, like that one. Windproof, waterproof, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to have one till I burnt my mustache. Then I threw it away.
Burnt your mustache. It's this electric little thing goes by.
But one I'm talking about, it shoots a flame.
Oh,
You
that's
can,
that's a torch. Yeah.
yeah, I
Those
had
little
one of them
butane
one
torches.
and they will burn your mustache real fast.
Hmm. These don't use any gas or anything. It just
Oh,
you
really?
just yeah. It's just the power of the battery that's inside of it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about now.
And if you have a way of charging, which I got multiple little solar chargers.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually,
we all know.
well, this
You
one
know.
has a charger on it.
Hmm. Yeah, I've got something
Oh,
similar
okay.
to that. And as long as that charger would work, I mean, it would work because it don't take much to charge the thing up. You're
Yeah.
good for 1,000 more, for 100 or whatever more flicks or something, you know.
Well, see that's the thing. Because there's actually lithium battery in that.
So eventually that would go
So
bad.
eventually you can't charge it again.
Yeah.
Well, what's the four things that every survivalist needs to be successful?
5.
Is it five?
Yep.
Well, I was going food, water, knowledge,
No.
experience.
No. It's the 5. It's called the 5 C's. You need a cutting device, a container, a cover, cordage, and combustion.
Yeah, but if you got all five of them and you ain't got experience or knowledge, then they ain't gonna do you no good.
Well, if that's the thing, if you know what the 5 C's are, then 90% of the people should have the experience to use that stuff.
Should have. That's the key word.
Yeah, because those are 5 things that it's hard to replace or get. It's not impossible because you can make your own cutting devices, you can make your own cordage, you can make your own containers, covers, combustion, you can make a bow drill. It's just those 5 things are a big jump start surviving on your own out in the woods or
I'll go that. I'll go
whatnot.
that.
That younger guy's channel that you promoted that one time. I don't know if you remember him. What was his name? Brandon? In the video you played, he was going through his backpack and showing his bug out bag.
Yeah,
I think he made a video about something similar to that.
yeah. Where the 5 C's comes from was Dave. I just watched him today with the toolbox. Canterbury. And he was on Dual Survivor on before they went and made it phony. And he ended up getting kicked off because the show said he was in the military. He was a military sniper, and he said he wasn't. And it got out that he wasn't. So the show let him go because, yeah, that's just what they do. And that was coming from him because I met him down because we're in the same state and everything, just not too far. He has his own school where he teaches how to survive in the wilderness, from trapping on up, how to start a fire with nothing and all that stuff.
Just looked him up. He does look familiar. I think I might have seen one of his videos or something.
Oh yeah, he's been around before the show was. He was on YouTube before the show.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah. That'll be a guy that could definitely survive.
Yeah.
Well,
Here, actually, I'll go ahead and hopefully I don't get in trouble, but let me find his, and I'll let him explain the 5 C's, which I pretty much did.
well, see, not only that, take somebody in and teach them, so later on down the road, they could possibly teach other people.
No, that's a newer
Even
one.
if you ain't going camping, if you got the grandkids or somebody or something over, pull the tent out, pop it up, practice it, make sure everything's still there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Do a trial
Exactly.
run.
Okay.
If nothing
go
else,
ahead.
pitch your tent in the backyard with your grandkids. They'll love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is 12 years ago. I'm going to mute it until he gets to the stuff because I don't want to get in trouble with that either. Okay.
Quick at the beginning of this video that this is a video I'm shooting for the Discovery Channel to put on their Facebook fan page. I'm going to go ahead and post it on YouTube for you guys as well. But when you see the intro, I mean, part of this video will be geared toward the Discovery audience. So stay with me.
Pulls no punches, does he?
With the Discovery Channel, co-host of Dual Survival. What I wanted to do today was I wanted to make a couple short videos for you on the 10 C's of survivability. The first video is going to be on the first 5 C's of survivability that I consider the most important, essential emergency items that you can carry in your kit, whether you're hiking, trekking, backpacking, mountain biking, anything that you do outside that causes you to be in a wilderness situation that could cause an emergency. These 5 items you should have with you. The first C in the 5 C's of survivability is a good quality cutting tool. A good quality cutting tool means something that you can chop trees down with if you have to, but do fine carving tasks as well, because this tool may have to be used to create all of the other items on this list in an emergency situation where you've lost everything, but your knife was attached to your body. So make sure it's a good quality cutting tool. The second item in the 5 C's of survivability is a combustion device. When I say combustion device, I don't mean something that can start fire. I mean something that will give you fire. In this case, this is the Ultimate Survival Technology Strike Force. It has a built-in ferrocerium rod with carbide striker that throws fantastic sparks. And inside the ABS plastic case, there's a wet fire gel that will start fire even in damp or wet conditions. This stuff will actually burn floating on top of the water, just like a road fire would do. So this is a very good item for you to have. Surefire is one of the most important aspects of survivability because it helps you control your body's core temperature, and you can do so many other things with fire.
It's Camo Carl's brother.
Is a covering device, something that you can help ensure that your body's core temperature is protected and also could give you shade in an arid environment. I choose to carry a wool blanket for that. 100% wool military style blanket. This one happens to be Italian. This is a 66 by 90 blanket. With this blanket, you can roll up in it. You can make a sleeping bag. You can make a shelter. You can make shade. There's a lot of different things that you can do with wool. And wool is the only fabric that will retain 80% of its insulative value, even if it's soaking wet. So I recommend carrying a wool blanket for that reason. The next item on your 5 C's of survivability is a container. Cultures have been built around containers throughout time. Containers are very important. Containers are used to collect water, obviously, but also to carry things. But because your hydration is so important, you have to make sure that you drink your water and that you drink it safely. With a metal container, you can boil your water. Boiling your water is the only 100% sure method to kill all microbacteria and things that will harm your body from the inside and make you sick. So a metal container is very important. There's nothing you can do with a plastic container that you can't do with metal. So metal is the key. Make sure that you have a good thick wall stainless steel container. 32 ounces is the key to that because 32 ounces is how things are measured for disinfecting your water if you're going to use chemicals for disinfection. Whether it's iodine, chlorine dioxide, bleach, whatever it is, all of those things are measured in drops or units per U.S. quarter liter. So you need to make sure you have a 32 ounce or 1 quart bottle that's made out of metal. The last C in the 5 C's of survivability is cordage. Cordage is very important because cordage is used to lash and build everything that you need to use in a survival situation, like tools, like implements, like shelters. All of those things need cordage for bindings. Bindings are very important in a survival situation. Cordage becomes a pain if you have to make mass amounts of it in a wilderness situation. It's pretty easy to make just a few feet, but to make 100 feet takes a long time. So you want to carry cordage with you. This is a 3-ply cordage, which means it can be broken down into smaller fibers. This is a tarred Mariner's Bank line. It is 165-pound test, and you can break that down to 3 fibers to use for smaller things like repairing your equipment or sewing up a wound if you need arises for something like that. With these 5 C's, you can pretty much take care of all immediate needs for a 72-hour search and rescue type scenario where you're going to stay put and wait for rescue. What you have to remember is, if you think back to these 5 C's, these are the most difficult things to reproduce in the wild with natural material. And that's important because a calorie game is what survival is all about. It's about conserving your body's core temperature, conserving your hydration, and conserving your calories. You don't want to have to spend a lot of time and energy to make things in a wilderness situation if you don't have to. These 5 things take a lot of time and energy or specialized materials to recreate, so you're better off to carry these and make the things that you don't necessarily have to have. So we'll talk more about the other 5 C's in just.
Yeah, it goes on to where there are 10 C's and so forth. He's a good channel to check out. He's got a thing going on right now that I actually might get into is an ammo box toolkit, and I'll go ahead and drop his link if anybody wants to check him out or whatnot.
Is he on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's changed quite a bit over the years. He's improved a lot of what he does because he's always trying to improve what he already knows. And the biggest part of how he's improved is gone back in time to when our settlers and stuff came over here the first time and learned from the Indians and learned how to survive off the land, because that's the best way to survive, is because they already did it.
That was the best knowledge.
Yeah.
Man. So much knowledge.
Yeah. Well, he actually had a long beard too at one time. I think it's short now. Let me see the last video.
You said he was an ex-Marine?
No. The Discovery Channel said he was a sniper.
Oh, okay.
To make the show sound better and whatnot. But he said he wasn't, he didn't have any military background.
I gotcha.
And that's the thing. Whenever he was interviewed and said it, then like I think it was the 3rd season, they let him go because everybody said, well, he's not military. You keep saying he's military and blah, blah, blah. So they let him go. And then they ended up getting a military guy that was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they started faking everything, which made it even worse. They had to, who was the guy always didn't wear shoes. Cody Lundy, something like that.
Sounds familiar.
Which he is a survivalist, but he's a survivalist in the desert. And he never wears shoes. When they were dropped off in the winter areas, he would wear socks.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if you went barefooted long enough, eventually you could tolerate it. It wouldn't bother you.
Oh yeah. his feet looked like some awful looking shoes. I'll put it that way.
Well, look at it like this. When we were youngins, we always went barefooted.
Yeah.
Period. The only time we wore shoes is when we went to school. That was
Well,
it.
you remember before they had the signs, no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Right.
You could go in to a store barefooted and no shirt, and
Mhm.
it was normal. And then they came up, oh, it's unsanitary, so they made it a law saying that you had to have shirt and shoes on.
Well, now, I don't know about the area that y'all are in, but the reason they stopped the no shoes service is because somebody had walked into a convenience store or something like that and cut their foot all to pieces, where a customer had dropped something and it broke. And the people working there never got it up or didn't get all of it up. And I think that was one of the reasons that that sign come about.
Oh,
But
have you, Vester? Yeah. And I think that was like the video I showed was 12 or 14 years ago.
Lifelike,
Um,
him, he low too.
but yeah, he's got good stuff in there. Every once in a while he shows his courses and stuff. Now, I don't know it. I would like to do it just for the experience, but I don't think I would pay all that money to go one of his classes. They're expensive. But it would be if somebody didn't already know this a lot of this information, it would be really good. You know what I mean?
How
It
long is
would.
the course?
They have different ones. They have where you just learn the basic skills.
Okay, different levels.
Yeah, and then it's for a day, and then they have some to where you go out in the field and survive for a few days.
With that guy?
Sometimes
Okay,
it's
yeah.
just with his instructors because he does have quite a few instructors there.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Depending
Now,
on where
I
they're based out
know
of.
Corporal's Corner, who I watch, is somehow or another every so often talks about Dave on his program.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Some of the big YouTubers, I'm gonna say it, the bushcraft people.
Yeah.
They have these get-togethers like they used to back in the trapping days and everything, where they had gatherings where
Oh yeah.
they would eat and drink and tell stories and trade and all that stuff. The bushcraft people, they still have those. I went to one in Kentucky probably
Oh man. Bet that was a good one.
probably 15, 16 years ago. And it's a blast. And I learned quite a bit from some of the people there. Now I think it's more advertised, and these companies come in, and knife companies and
Sponsors.
sponsors, yeah, and those ones I don't think are as good as the older ones.
They're not organic.
Yeah, it seems like there's booths set up and everything, instead of a bunch of people setting up in because it's usually on somebody's property, and it's actually by a lake or a stream or something, to where everybody has access to water and whatnot.
Man. If I was a little bit further south, I'd say we set one up around here.
Oh, there probably is some down there.
We'll start our own. Yeah, that would be cool. Well, my granddaddy used to tell me stories when he was a kid. And at the time when he was telling me when I was a kid, I thought it was kind of crazy. But before he'd get up early in the morning, go out and check his traps, see if he got anything, set his traps. And he'd do all this before he'd even go to school. And,
Oh yeah.
He'd have them so many furs, and then whenever they went into town, yeah, he'd collect it, however much he'd get for them.
I remember my grandpa. He wasn't, going out and wouldn't do it like to make money or anything, but he had a behind the outhouse there were and I don't even know what they're called. I can't think of it. It's basically 4 sticks together in a box shape, and it had the leather straps on it to where you stretch out your hide and dry it out in the sun.
Oh, like a tanning stand.
Tanning box?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's where I wish I would have, like, can you show me how to do this? How did you do that?
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, every animal, how big or small, their brain is enough to tan their hide.
That's something, ain't it?
Yeah,
that is something.
It's you can have a buffalo. Their brain
squirrel.
is enough to tan that whole hide.
That is amazing. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Knowledge like that don't get passed down,
Yeah.
So much. And it's one of those things you could talk about it, but if you ain't doing it, it is a totally different thing.
Yeah. I mean, if nobody told you that, even if somebody did tell you and you've never heard about it before, you say, well, you just mush down the brain and everything and mix it with water and whatnot, and soak your hide in there, and that's how you would tan your leather. You'd be, what?
Yeah, they think you're nuts.
Yeah.
And there's just enough brain matter to do that one, whatever it is you killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have no tanning solutions or salts or nothing. It's crazy how people knew to do that. Like, how would you even know to do that?
Yeah.
Indians.
That's the type of stuff that I wish I knew.
Can you guys hear this bird out here? Oh, now
Might be my bird or your bird.
No, I've been watching your guys' icons to see if it was, and it's mine. Because I was going to say, who's got the noisy bird? And then it's mine.
I had some earlier. I don't know if y'all could hear it.
It ain't me this time.
Me neither.
I think all mine's sleeping.
Mine were yakking earlier. I got to get them some bird feed. They was letting me know.
Oh.
Yeah, my cats are like, where's he at? Because he's sitting right on the AC over here. I've got the AC off, but that bird is going to town and it's driving the cats crazy. They're running around looking for him.
Oh, well, happy
Oh, yeah.
birthday, Harvest Mary Moon.
Yeah, it's her
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
She turned 29 years old today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a good
I
age.
would say so.
I'm turning 28 in August, so it's good.
Dang, you right there behind her.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm turning 36. Yeah, 36.
336.
No,
336.
y'all leave the 100 shit out. Y'all leave the 100 out of this. I'm 36. Period.
I'll
that
be
your
36 in a
voice?
couple weeks.
136.
If I'm 136, I'm the well maintenance.
You're t-
Quite a few birthdays, so we're
I
You're
was gonna
maintenance
say, you
free at
can't
that
say
point.
you're the oldest.
No, you're fertilizer if you're 136.
Dang.
No,
I ain't saying nothing to that one.
Uh-huh. You taking the
What was that guy's
proverbial
name?
dirt nap there, my brother. You're 136.
Rip Van Winkle, all over twice.
Mhm.
no. In the Bible, that one dude that
No, not him.
oh, what's his name?
Who's the oldest man in the Bible, Dixon? Methuselah.
Yeah, that's it, Methuselah.
So I was right. Now,
How
Wasn't
was
he
you
the
right
oldest?
when you asked her what it was?
well, I wasn't for sure if that's what it was or not. And trust me, if I'm wrong, she's going to correct me. If I remember correctly, do not quote me on it.
Hey, Jeff.
Do you remember who Methuselah's great grandfather was?
Rumpelstiltskin.
No, but I know his father only lived for 300 years.
Yeah.
Man, that would be something. 300 years.
Yeah.
They took him out of the Bible.
Enoch.
Yeah, Enoch.
The Book of Enoch. I want
Right.
to see the rest of those books.
Oh,
I believe there's more.
Absolutely.
I wish Bigfoot was here right now.
More. But
You know the amazing thing, and I don't know if anybody here was there when Bigfoot was talking about it, but if you go down the line from Adam all the way, and then what each of their names mean in Hebrew, it's amazing. It all goes to saying, Jesus.
Yep.
And it's you don't realize it until you see all the names down there, and you get the meaning of the names, and it's like, wow.
Boy, they're getting you tonight, Jeff. You were there with Adam. Phil R. said Jeff's social security number is 4.
no, it ain't quite that low. I'm going to say about 6.
Oh, man. Chat is at it again.
It ain't the first time. Let them go. As long as
There's
nobody.
no stopping them.
That was a good one there.
Now, I'm trying to find who said it. Yeah, Jay Flea says, can you even say the word coonskin cap anymore?
Can
Why
you
not?
even say it? Oh, never
Right.
mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I understand, but
Yeah.
It's got cat. Shut up.
I wasn't gonna comment no more about it.
Okay.
I know it's all.
That was in the past. Let it go. Let it stay there.
It's off topic, but did y'all hear about the supposed 6-planet alignment last night or this morning?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was what did they say? It was Jupiter. I forget the 6 it was, but yeah, supposedly the best time to see it was like almost at daybreak this morning, but I couldn't see anything. It was too cloudy here.
Now, I love this type of news. You always get it after the fact.
I figured it was trending.
Well,
Look at it like this. If you get it before the fact, then come time to see it, it's going to be cloudy to where you can't see it.
well, if they were all lined up, you was only going to see one anyway.
Oh,
You got a question. Damn. You got a point on that one.
But I have something very interesting.
No,
Did
I didn't do it.
Wait a minute.
everybody
let
know
me buckle up.
that Mexico had an election,
Uh-huh.
and they now have the first woman president
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico?
Yep.
It's because everybody that would have voted for the other guy is in the United States.
Well, now her name
And
ain't
how much you want to
Hillary.
bet after
No,
our
but she was
election's
educated
over,
here.
they're going to be put back where they came from?
I ain't saying nothing.
I have a odd feeling. No matter who it is who wins, they will end up back. You know, there'll be a lot of deporting back to where they came from. But it was. I'm not saying that she's a bad president or a good president or anything. It's just very odd because they've had this sort of election before, and it was a landslide against a woman being president. And then all of a sudden, it's like, woo.
Well, the news said that all of her male competition had all been shot up by the cartel, so there's no one left. So that's what they said.
You may have a point with that one too.
Yeah. But they had lost, I think, 2 million votes.
Darn.
It's because they're all over here.
Yeah.
I was going to say, kind of sounds like 2020.
Yeah.
Losing that many votes. Where'd they go? Oh, they're in a gully. They're in a ditch.
No,
They're in the back of that trailer. Jackknife.
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting to track in the coming months.
Oh yeah.
They better get it right. That's for sure.
So that's the first woman president of Mexico ever.
Yep. And there are Democrat peoples in Washington. I'm sure everybody's heard, but they want to have Trump's Secret Service people removed.
Yeah.
What would be the purpose of that?
Because when they put him in prison, he'll be by himself.
No, he's not going to prison.
I don't think he is either.
Yeah, but right now, what would happen? And be mindful to be YouTube-ish.
We all know what you.
Yeah.
They can't take his protection away because he is.
I know. They're trying to say since he's convicted, he doesn't
matter.
Not convicted, but they try to keep saying it. He is, and they advertise that he's convicted, but he's not convicted yet. But they keep saying because of that, he has no right to Secret Service, which has nothing to do with it.
There for a long time, I had always it was planted in my mind. A felon could not run for president. Well, I was corrected on that. What I'm gonna say this month. Well, for the last 15 days, a felon can run for president.
Yeah, two of them did.
Two of them did. One of
Oh,
them
really?
being Eugene V. Debs in 1920. He ran for president from an Atlanta prison. He
Huh.
got almost 1 million votes with no social media, no, hey, call you up, vote for this guy. And then there was another guy, I forget his name. He did it in the 60s, both in America.
Let me down. See, that's news you don't hear about. Also,
Yeah, right. That's
Well, you never really would have thought about it until something like this happened, and then you start investigating, and you're like, did this ever happen? You know?
Mhm. Good point, Rose. But then again, that wonderful document's been trampled all over for the past 4 years. So it's
yeah.
your
I
guess
like
is
to
as
have
good as
a copy
mine.
of the Constitution.
And again, the Democratic people in Washington are trying to say that Trump is starting a civil war. It's the
Yeah.
other way around because the Civil War was,
Hello, Mark.
Democrats started it because of the Constitution, among other things, money. But like I said, it's more them starting it than Trump.
Been trending the last 2.5 years in so many news articles and publications. That word. They even wanted to promote it so much they even made a movie about it that came out on the anniversary of the Civil War this year.
Yeah,
I still ain't watched it yet,
I
but
didn't either. I'll
but
wait until it
still,
comes
that
in.
just shows that it's being promoted heavy. That idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I finally broke down and watched that movie, Civil War. It ain't that bad. It's pretty good.
Mm.
Might check it out tonight.
Now you got to stay
Yeah.
awake in order to watch it.
I'll stay away from the pie.
Okay.
I always
Let
get
me
some.
hold it. If it's a key lime pie, you better invite me down there.
Hey, it won't be there by the time you get there.
Yeah, it's,
You can
I
make
just had to
another
get a
one.
fresh one. Just had to get a fresh one when you get here.
Okay.
Stop at the store.
Yeah, I mean, I know at least for the last couple of years they've been pushing that particular trending topic.
Yeah.
It's been talked about for years, but like you
Yeah.
said, here in the last few years, they've been hitting on it kind of hard.
I'm like, man, I mean, it's when you polarize something to that extent, people that know history know how bad that was, but people that don't know, you just throw something around that loosely.
Oh yeah.
That'd be like just referring to something as the H word, during World War II.
Yeah. And most people don't know what it started from, or they think it was because of slavery and stuff. There was a lot involved in that to when it started.
Oh yeah,
Well,
to even get to
that's
that
something
point.
I don't.
And like the Confederate flag,
Oh no.
they think it means one thing, and you go back
It's about a
in
flag.
the colors and what the white stands for and the red and all that, and it's not what they think it is. Well, it's a symbol of it. And yeah,
No.
I don't think a flag or a whatever symbol you would want, a statue, is racist or hateful or whatever. It's the person who interprets it as that.
It gives off whatever you're interpreting it as.
Yeah.
I can draw a smiley face and that could offend somebody.
Yeah, just like
Dagmar King, happy anniversary.
I've
52nd anniversary.
I've been told because I wore an American flag on my shirt that I was racist, and that's
How?
again that's that person's what they feel that symbolizes doesn't mean everybody thinks the American flag is. It's only a certain age generation that does.
Read what Robert Bates said, posted. A channel is running a live right now saying Trump is dropping out. And the channel is a definite Trump supporter. Well, I'm like, yes, unless it comes out of his mouth, I
Yeah.
don't care who it is. You know,
And
I've
it
got
would
to hear from him.
Yeah, it would have to be really something.
Because even though with everything that has gone on, that man's got a lot to lose if he stops. Well, Dagmar, next February, me and the wife will be 45 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I don't see nothing because that would be like all over the place right now if he said
Yeah, it would be.
he's not running. Let's go here and look real quick. Nothing new. Yeah, it would be breaking news all over the place. Trump dropping.
Well, you know, Democrats would eat this up in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah,
They'd be done had this run before. News media. All he had to do was think about it and this up on news. Like I said, that man right now, even though he's been through a lot, if he was to quit now, he'd be letting millions of people down, and he's got way too much tied up and invested.
well, he would be going to prison. So if he wins, he pardons himself.
Now hold on. I thought that this was state. I thought a president could only pardon himself if it was federal.
He pardons everybody else, no matter if it's federal or not. So
Right.
oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I was laughing at. Dumpster fire it.
Yeah, it's like we went to World War III for 2.5 years now, 3 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's all they said would happen. And
Yeah.
it's potato the ones that's putting us in war.
Oh yeah. And that little
Thank
short
you, Dagmar.
guy over in Ukraine is bad mouthing everybody and brother. Oh, you won't come to my peace thingy.
Listen,
Well, you know,
do you people realize that 4 years ago that man was in leather ass chaps and he was a comedian on stage? He was put in
You
that.
look him up. That's what
president.
comes up first. Actor, comedian,
Exactly what it
then
is.
Ukraine thing.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen that
give me a
video.
break. It's all a show.
Why'd you have to
Well, you
remind
know-
me that existed?
I got to thinking earlier today. Coming up, I'm going to say 15, 20 years ago, never would I have thought half the shit that's happening today
Oh
ever
my.
happened.
Oh, I've seen everything now.
Uh-oh. You shouldn't have turned it there.
No. Oh, if I tell 101 this, he'll be live tonight. Call of Duty has transgender bullets.
Uh,
Whoa. How in the world can you have bullets that are like that?
Jeff, just
Well,
we got to let
really,
it be.
Jeff?
We got to let it
How do
be.
you have what we have thinking there's something else? And
That I can understand, but I can't understand.
how
Got the
can you
perfect
understand that? I don't.
visualization. Remember the movie Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the
Those
cartoon revolver he had?
Yeah.
Oh, full.
You
The
know I'm
listed
gonna have to
skins are
message
now
101
available
and
as
tell him.
part of Call of Duty Pride Month. Celebrates include the following. Oh boy.
I triple dog dare you to message 101 and tell him
It's
that.
crazy.
Dixon
Package.
won't let me.
Well, I will not be playing that game ever again.
They all B Charming says they only find you if you are unassured of your gender.
No.
TH2, those seeds are really blanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now chat's really gonna get fired up on this
Yep.
one.
Yep.
In Call of Duty, they've been catching a lot of flack over the last couple of years.
Have they really?
They had one. I don't know the whole story behind it, but they had this guy, a big gamer, and he was so big they even gave him like his own skins or packs, where people could play as him in the game. And I don't know, something happened with him, and he stepped down, and man, there was a bunch of people that
I can't
went
remember
away
his
from
name.
Call of Duty.
Mm.
Mr. something another.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't remember. He always wore glasses and a wig.
can't remember his name. You talking about Dr. Disrespect?
Yeah, was it him?
I can't remember if it was him or not. But I know he is a big gamer.
Yeah, he caused issues over on Fortnite and all those. It went from one to the other.
No, it's a trouble.
It's big.
Hello,
Hello,
Miss
Miss
Blake.
Blake. Oh, you owe me Coke and pizza, Jeff.
What is that?
Hey, like,
What?
yeah,
I'll take the cream
I
cheese.
was like, what is Call of Duty doing on this news site? And then I read it and I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't see anything about Biden or I mean I would
Trump.
believe that more than I would Trump. And poor South Korea.
Yeah. If you look into it, I reckon any bullet can be transgender. And I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh wow, they actually have crews going
What?
out and cleaning up that trash. Well, if you didn't know, Jeff, North Korea is sending all their trash over to South Korea in balloons.
Yeah.
Now I heard about North Korea sending balloons to South Korea, but I didn't know what the point of it is until
It's
now.
trash. And poop.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was just looking at it, and they actually have guys dressed up in hazmat suits, full tanks and everything, cleaning it up off the streets.
I've been done. Well, Robert Bates, that's exactly what I was talking about, but I couldn't say it. I mean, come on, think about it. They send all of their stuff to another country, and then country number one's got to go to country number two and clean it up. What's the point of it?
They're just starting shit.
Sounded like to me it got planted pretty good. Couldn't you imagine driving down the road and your windshield get hit, and the husband looks at the wife and said, "That's got to be the biggest bird he'd ever encountered."
Yeah,
Well,
I see
we've gone from survival
Marjorie Taylor
Bushcraft.
Greene in the news again.
Is she going off on somebody?
Oh, more than likely.
Who's this?
MTJ,
Yeah.
MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's the one that told AOC her makeup wasn't making it or something.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
she
I want
went
Well,
wild.
I'm behind her.
I want that stricken from the record right away.
and the other one jumped in. I forget what her name was, and then she got onto her and cat fighting one.
Yeah, I was gonna say meow.
I want ringside seats.
Well, nah, I gotta let that one go.
I said ringside seats. I didn't say I want to participate.
No, I know.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I did see on the news though where they actually had a picture of it when China was flying the balloons over here, over our country. They actually had a U-2 spy plane checking them out, and I thought that they were all retired. Apparently, they're not, because it was a real picture. You could tell it was a U-2 with the, the fuel pod on the end of the wing and all that. So,
Oh yeah. I was doing a live and I had it set. I had the page ready to go and everything. And then when I loaded it up on StreamYard, it got removed. Because I could still see it. But as soon as I loaded it up, page is not available.
Huh.
And then they got rid of it. And it's still floating around. You just have to find it.
They did what they call black ice.
They have, I guess, since Biden's not going to the peace summit thing, guess who's going? Harris.
Yeah.
You know how long it took her to find Texas?
Well, maybe she won't. Never mind.
It'll take her a few more years to find Ukraine or wherever it's being held. Isn't it in Ukraine?
I'm not sure. When is it? This weekend?
She better left about 12 months ago.
I forget.
She's going to some summit.
Yeah, the G7.
Yeah.
Will be in Europe later in June.
Yeah, that's next month.
Zelensky guy is complaining. Oh, you sending her over here, and
he needs to get his chaps back on, go on stage and stop taking our money. Little pervert.
Look. Can somebody explain something to me? And I'm not trying to. act like I'm out in left field. Can somebody explain to me what Juneteenth is?
Uh,
I've got in
depends
my
on,
mind what it is, but
well,
What did
it's
you
two
say,
different
Jeff?
things. There's the real thing, and there's the made up thing that makes it a holiday.
Calendar.
Supposedly from,
Go ahead.
oh, you probably know more, but from my limited knowledge, it's supposedly when the last word of freedom reached Texas, I believe. And
Yeah.
that's all I really can tell you really about it without looking into it.
Well, there was
so
a
that's the
place in
original version.
Texas that was a city
Okay.
just of one race, and they were done with by others, and that was the true date of it, and then they made it into something else.
Now, Larry in chat said Juneteenth is when the slaves in Texas were freed. Something similar to what said.
Yeah, that's what they changed it to.
And
It,
I
Okay.
it
don't think it was all Texas. I think it was maybe for a particular spot. Word didn't get out. Or however it might have been. I
the
don't know.
Like
territory,
the
the
territory.
territory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
it was Texas and Louisiana and some others.
Okay. Now,
Because
Larry says he's from Texas and it's been celebrated there ever since he could remember.
yeah,
okay, that's the
yeah,
real one then.
Okay.
There's always a spinoff of something.
yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Now I know what the true meaning of that is.
It's a federal holiday now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's marked on the calendar, the 19th.
Red.
Yeah. Well, something just got clarified. I'm not going to say right yet, but it got clarified in chat. Dagmar, I'm going to tell you from experience. When you got a couple like you and your husband, and one of you falls ill, the other one automatically it takes over. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh, that's one thing I wanted to. There's a video of a blind guy going down an escalator, and people are just walking by, and there was something. The man had his kid, and holding his hand going down, and he noticed this guy was having troubles, so his and the thing I got off of it was, the guy went up there and helped the guy down. It was one of those social experiment things, but the one
Right.
thing I got out of it was the fact that no words were said. That husband went up the escalator, was running up the escalator, and let go of his kid's hand, and automatically, without thinking, the mother already had the kid's hand. Like there was no words spoken between the husband and the wife. It was just instinct that,
Mhm.
it the roles changed. The wife was the protector of the daughter or son, whatever it was, a little kid, and that's what I got out of it, was more of the husband and wife being that close together.
Yeah, you automatically know what one's thinking without something being said.
Yeah. And everybody else is just walking past that guy. And he went up there and grabbed his arm and let him down the escalator.
Well, see, half the time I don't know what I'm thinking, and the wife tells me.
But
Matter of fact, she even tells me where to go at times.
but like you said, it's like if it's like you're one person.
Yeah.
Something's happening, and the other one just automatically catches in and handles whatever it needs done. And
What the bad thing about
you don't see that anymore. You don't see it in the younger, and it's not that, because this can happen with somebody that's been married for a year or two. You can notice it, but you don't notice it nowadays. They're always separated, and they have. I don't have my phone, but
Yeah.
each of them have. And I've seen the husband and the wife sitting on a couch, and they're texting each other back and forth.
That's horrible.
How is that? I don't get it. I mean, if I would have texted my wife something and she answered her phone, she would have probably threw her phone at me.
Exactly. But
You're
you want
right
to know
there. You can't open your mouth.
in order for a couple to be one, they've got to spend years together in order to understand the other one without talking. And
Oh, yeah.
in today's society, they end up arguing just one time, they go their separate ways.
Yeah. Time to get on what is Tinder? Is that what it's called? Tinder? Get another one.
It no.
You're supposed to fight. It's just, why not fight, argue. Okay. I don't
Not
want
fisted out, but argue. I have this
Where will
debate.
eat at?
Oh, don't start that with me.
You're
Now,
paying.
I'm gonna put it like this: for any married couple to start an argument right off the bat, ask Dudden, "What you want to eat?" That'd do it every time. That started.
Or move that dang couch over here. Yeah. No,
Dude,
maybe not. Maybe it'll look better over there.
I would prefer to move a couch and then debate on whether to go eat at. There ain't but so many places a couch can go
Yeah.
before it finally goes out the door.
These ones we got, you can't move.
There's a new thing going on TikTok now where they're going out to eat, and it's always a fast food place. The guy goes in and gets something and brings it back to the car, and he only gets her food. And she said, "Where's your food?" "Oh, I'm not hungry." "Well, I'm not hungry either." And she slams the food down and says, "I'm not eating. You got to get food too, or I'm not eating."
Now, what gets me is I've seen a few of them, not that many, to where this high society girl is going on a date with her boyfriend. She gets all dressed up and everything. He takes her to Arby's or a place like that, and she gets so ill about it.
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
Dude, that right there would tell me one thing. Bye.
Yeah.
Or The
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, or to where this guy takes his girlfriend on a date, and his girlfriend invites 5 or 6 people to join them, and
Oh yeah.
they expect him to pay. Bull loney. I'll do what I'm going. I'll pay for mine. I'll pay for hers. I'm out the door.
At that point, I don't even speak English anymore.
Because you know darn good and well, if the man sits there and tries to debate it, he's already lost the argument. You got 4 or 5 women teamed up on this one guy. Walk out the door and let's see who the friends really turn out to be. Now, I will admit this right here, okay? And I'm going old school on this. If a man invites the woman out to eat, the man pays for it. If the woman or vice versa, you know. But
Oh, you talk about date.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
but it comes a point to where if it starts to become a thing, you know, then the woman would say, you know, let's go get something to eat, I'll pay for it. Or something like that. You know, it ain't left up to just one person from that point on.
Well, I think I said this before. I went out with somebody that, and it's just a coffee thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a coffee and a donut and stuff. And I was, I was going to pay for it. And this was before we didn't have diners anymore. And she said that she had to pay. And I said, no, I'm good. I can pay. And she said, well, we'll split it. And I'm like, no, I can pay for it. I never understood that. I mean, and it was instead of, getting to know somebody and whatnot, it was, no, we have to split it. And I'm like, and that, like I said, that was the first and only date.
Well, now
It wasn't because I felt bad because a woman paid. It's the fact that it was so important for her to split it instead of get to know the other person.
Well, now I want the women in chat to
Watch it now, Jeff. Careful.
Yeah, I am. Now, the reason a woman wants to pay, or what do you call that? Split it. I can't think.
Dutch.
Go Dutch is because if a guy pays for everything, he's looking for something in return.
Dessert.
No.
Now, I've heard quite a few women say that. That's the reason
Well,
they won't go Dutch.
Probably years ago, but
well, see that if that's the case, you're already got that set in your mind. You don't need to be going out on a date,
right?
And that's you're not ready.
I've always paid.
Yeah, it's
that's just the way it's the way I am. I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But
well, to me, that goes to show you had pretty good upbringing, because I'm always being taught whoever invites the people to go out is the ones that pay for
it. No,
that can happen, but it depends upon how you word it.
Yeah,
you could say if you want to join us for dinner,
it never.
Well, yeah.
No matter who invites who, I always paid. That's what the man does.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I've been like, and she did invite me. Well, she actually wanted. Never mind.
Well, now a year or so ago, I had an argument with a woman. I'm not going to say who it was. She ended up paying for it, and I went up there, to let me rephrase that real fast. Me and the wife went up there. She's a good friend of ours. Okay. And I asked her, I said, let's go get something to eat. She said, I'm paying for it. I said, no, I'm paying for it. But the point of the deal is she pays one time, we pay the next time.
That's different. Yeah, that's like when a lot of times couples go out, one will get it one week, or the other gets it the next week.
Well, see, to me, that's unfair because it's two of us and only one of them.
Well, no, I said couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I missed the word couples.
Yeah. When you do the double date things and whatnot.
Look, dude, if we double dating, it's up to the one in the back seat to take care of his date. I'm taking care of mine. Plain simple. I ain't paying for all four of us. That can cause a person to go broke quicker.
I don't know.
And if they can't pay, I'll be back.
They gotta wash the dish.
Yeah, I'll come back to pick you up when the dishes are washed. Bye. But it's like you said, a coffee, a donut, or something like that, that's good. That way you're laying the lines down of how each other is.
Yeah. Like I said, it to me, it was more important for her to, split the bill. And it was, we always went back to that instead. Because I was always like, how long you been here? And trying to, get to know the person. It was like, oh, we have to make sure we split this bill.
Look. I had to go pay a bill today. Well, I had to go quite a few bills, but one in particular caught me off guard. I pull up in the parking lot. I get out of the car. I'm looking in the door, and I can see the reflection of two more people coming in behind me. I opened the door. I let them go in first. The first one is a woman. She does not say thank you or anything else. She gives me a look like eat shit look, right? Then the guy comes in, and the people, I've done business with these people, 4 or 5 years, it seems like. They see what's happening at the door. I'm the first one they take care of, and I'm the first one out the door. And the woman is standing there like, well, all of y'all can just eat it and die. Hey, karma. I love karma at times.
Mm-hmm. I'm always preaching karma.
Yeah.
And remember, Jeff,
comes around.
Karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve.
Exactly. But I got out in the car and got to chuckling. The wife said, what happened? And I told her. And it's like, oh, well, it is what it is. And when we was pulling out of the parking lot, she was still in there. I was the first one out. The guy behind me was the next one out. She was still in there. And
I got in the conversation about the whole opening and doors and everything. And they said it's not a common thing anymore because there's automatic doors. Nobody opens doors for anybody anymore. I'm like, there are still doors you open, And like at the post office, somebody will be coming up there and I'll open the door for them. And they just walk through and there's nothing said. And yeah, if I was a kid with my grandpa and I walked through the door, if somebody opened the door for me and I didn't say anything, I would have got
Exactly.
smacked back in the head. Where's your manners, boy?
Uh-huh.
And
And you best say sir and ma'am also
oh
at the
yeah,
end of it. But out of curiosity, and I don't want to say it like this, but it seems like to me the South has got more respect than
oh
anybody
yeah,
else. I mean, even the elderly people, if there's two guys walking into a business, the younger guy will open up the door and hold it till the elderly guy goes in. And I already know where you're going with this, ER. Yes, I've had many of them open the door for me. But
I didn't say a thing.
no, but you was thinking it. But I'm just curious. What, compared to North and the South, does that still happen common? Because down here, I see it all the time.
yeah.
And
Hardly. I mean, some like if older folks
Right.
will say thank you and
yeah,
or like
The entitlement society won't say it though.
well like if you're going to Walmart and you let somebody walk past you,
that's a
you
whole
stop.
new
Which
breed.
it's the law, you're supposed to. They're pedestrians, but there are people that will drive through. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
normally, when somebody stops to let you by, you say, you wave your hand
wait, thank you.
and say thank you in the air or whatnot.
Mhm.
Probably 98% of the time, 99% of the time, nobody says anything. It don't matter if it's a old guy, young guy, whatever. This Walmart, when you stop and let people by,
Others
there,
come past you.
there's just nothing. It's like most of the time you get a dirty look anyway, just because you're in a vehicle or I don't know.
Mhm.
Well, I'm married. I'm used to getting dirty looks. It don't faze me.
I think with the car thing though, you could have somebody that's so wound up and about to road rage on somebody, and if he or she just like lets you in or whatever, and you acknowledge him with or her with a nod or a wave. I always acknowledge people when they've, are courteous as far as driving or whatever.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I believe that actually it settles people down.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like, holy crap, this guy just acknowledged that I let him in. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, because you don't know what people are like driving down the road, and you could easily just keep going, or you see somebody that's been waiting for a good while to get out. Why is it such a hard thing to slow down and go? Let them in and let them go.
Yeah,
and
if
you
traffic
never
permits.
know.
Yeah.
That could have calmed that person down to where they don't go home and start an argument with their spouse or do a road rage thing because they've been sitting there at the McDonald's for 15 minutes trying to get out.
Now, what scares me worse than anything, I'm going to say Walmart, Food Line, or a place like that, is that door is going to slide open and there's a youngin' going to run out in the middle of the road. That right there terrifies me more than anything.
Mm-hmm. It's
But the worst thing, and I know I've said this before, so call me a broken record. It's down here we got from rails to trails, where they pulled up the old railroad tracks and paved it, and everyone bikes and walks there and skateboards and all that. And when you're on the trail and you come to a major intersection, you have your own sign that faces you, and it says stop, push button to cross road. Okay? I don't know what STOP means, especially these guys on these pedal bikes with their $500 helmets, and they're, you know, they think they're, you know, and the rules apply to them too. And they just go right across people locking up their brakes, and it's just, oh, I can't stand those people. Anyway,
well, something I don't care about is I will give a bicyclist the right. I ain't gonna say the right of way. If he's on the road, you know, he sees me coming and he moves over, I'll cross over, you know, the yellow line. I'll show him respect. But if he's hogging the road on purpose and everything, I'm going to lay down on my horn until he moves. I don't care if it's 1 foot or 100 miles.
really? Is that really true?
Is that the baby Castro rule up there?
But anyways, I want to do an announcement before we head off over to Vineyard Chicks. They have a studio release video coming out on the 7th. So you want to make sure you mark your calendars and head over to the Vineyard Chicks to watch it. It's a big thing.
Y'all just remember
your first studio recording is you know, it's a big thing.
That's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about that time anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and drop their link where they're tonight. I do believe it's KK's songs that she likes.
Okay.
Or it's her list of songs tonight. Something like that. Let me go ahead and drop that link real quick.
Well, y'all just remember to keep a hot pot of grits on the stove at all times.
Because you never know who's stopping by. That's right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't understand that.
And shrimp, too. Make sure the shrimp's ready. Shrimp and grit.
That will change their minds quick.
I do have a guest Wednesday at 7:00. It's actually 4 of them. I'm pretty sure all four of them are going to show up. So it's going to be a doozy.
Warfare.
Yep.
For you or for them? Or both?
And let's head to the outro.
Hey guys, thank you all for making Bushcraft great again. Let's continue to support him. Let's go.